Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to Devlog number 47 for C-Beams, a spaceship action RPG video game that I've been making with my buddy Rich and a small development team for over a year and a half at this point. Today, I am so excited to show off some epic new features. I've been working hard on some mini asteroid bases, both from the outside and the inside perspective. We're making big changes to our mega asteroid base as well. We have a whole bunch of new combat VFX that really showcase some of the power of our weapons. We have some epic sound effects to go along with those weapons. We have an in-game music player that dynamically changes the music based on the level that you're playing. Plus a ton of other stuff that I'm going to get into in just a second. If you guys want to follow C-Beams more closely, check out our Discord. It is linked in the video description. We post dev sneak peeks there pretty regularly and discuss the game design with people who are interested. Also, if you want to wishlist C-Beams, check out our Steam store page, again linked in the video description. And without further ado, let's get into some of these new asteroid bases that I've been working on. So C-Beams needs a lot of permanent bases in the game where you can meet agents and take missions and go to repair your ship, sort of act like a rest stop, a town, if you will, in a traditional action RPG. And I really like the idea of putting a lot of those bases inside tiny asteroids. A lot of the lore behind this game are people coming to this region of space specifically to mine and consume the very rare resources that exist here, so it makes sense that a lot of them would be asteroid miners. So when you enter one of these bases in your ship, it'll give you a nice little cutaway, and inside there'll be a bit of a floor plan and a layout. Evan Browning and myself have been working a lot on the interior assets for this, starting with the floors, and eventually we will get to updating all the walls and all the assets inside of these bases until they're completely done. It's being designed in a modular way where we can mix and match, move floor tiles around, and move some of the underlying pipe networks around. This little cut in half asteroid here is based on a concept that Island did for us forever ago, and I dusted off the old Blender asteroid modeling tools that John Lagostini made for us and started making some new asteroids. It took a little while to kind of brush up and get back up and running again, but once I was back into it, it didn't take too long, and I think I could probably batch out quite a few of these and cover some bigger areas of the game. Now, early on, we realized that the floors were going to need a lot of detail because as a top-down game, the floors take up the biggest portion of your screen space. So we worked off of a concept that, again, Island did for us that had lots of fun, big pipe networks running through the ground. Very Akira anime style. I like it a lot. Evan did a lot of the floor plating here and a lot of the sub-plating greebling. There's actually more coming here, so we have more assets coming before the floors will be finished, and then we get to move on to the walls. But I did want to see what our mega asteroid base looked like with some of the more updated floors. This is Rook Station. It'll serve as a major hub in the game, run by Atlas Fleet. It's much bigger than the other stations. It'll have more services and a lot more traffic and commerce coming through it. And the new modular floor system scales quite nicely with it. There's a little bit of repetition that I'm going to work on and kind of dial down, and I haven't updated the walls to cinch up next to the floors quite yet. But I've been having a lot of fun running different pipe networks under here. I'm also testing out packed level actors in Unreal Engine 5, which allows me to just quickly place all of my meshes in an environment and then convert them to a packed level actor, which will turn them into hierarchical instance static meshes, which are a lot more performant. I actually find it really hard to work directly with instance static meshes in a level, so instead of working with them, I just work with regular meshes and then convert it all to a packed level actor, which converts it for me. That seems to be a decent workflow for me, but I'd be curious if any Unreal Engine experts out there have some really good ISM workflows that they prefer. Now, I also managed to finish up an old loot stash I had started forever ago based on a Kruger concept, and now we finally have a version in the game. I also updated our airlock meshes, so now when they telescope out, there's a little bit more lights and a little bit more greebling detail on them. I figure if every ship's got an airlock, we may as well give it some detail. And I was also able to confirm that my designs for a double wide airlock for the larger ships will connect nicely to the single wide airlock. These are tiny little details that I'm sure a lot of people will never pick up on, but it makes me happy when things line up nicely in universe and things make sense. Now, we've been making some fun weapons progress when it comes to VFX and audio. Our inertial cannons, these are the size 2 recoilless turrets that this destroyer has, now have some really cool bullet trail smoke that I think really adds to the VFX nicely. The bullets have been updated to differentiate themselves better from some of the sea-whiz fire, and we have new impact sound effects, which just makes everything line up cleaner. Now, our size 1 point defense lasers, which will be an option instead of sea-whiz, have had their first VFX pass, and they look awesome in my opinion. We've got a couple little bugs and a few things we're going to sort out with them to really dial in the look of it even further. But this was Will on the VFX, and then we have Panzer V1 handling all the audio design for this game, and I just really think the lasers have come together nicely. Will also took another pass on the Railgun VFX, which I think look great. They're fun now, they're a little more subtle than the first pass, but also convey that immense power that a railgun should convey. They also have this really fun exit wound particle effect, which again is subtle, but if you pay attention to it, you'll actually see a bunch of debris kicking out the backside of a ship when they take a shot from a railgun. Now, I really enjoy showing some of the behind-the-scenes logic for meta sound design. This would be the sound graph for our point defense lasers. Each time a laser fires, it has a start sound, a looping sound, and a finish sound. For our looping sound, we actually have the frequency lerp between randomized variables, and I like doing this for beam weapons because it gives it sort of an inconsistent pitch over the lifetime of the beam, and it's just a nice bit of variety in there. And then this graph allows us to play 2 lasers over each other, but no more than 2, otherwise it just muddies up the audio. Now, a nice bit of audio that Panzer V1 helped us design and is going to give us a lot of reusability is our space station audio. I kind of gave him a list of things that I wanted, and he knocked it out of the park. These space stations have ambiance loops and then multiple layers of different mechanical, scientific, voiceover comm sounds that can play at random times. And I can design a single graph, and then depending on the station that's using that graph, I can turn on and off different frequency levels of these sound effects to give each station its own unique audio signature and to help communicate the scale and activity of said station. Now, Rich, our tech lead, has been making a ton of progress on the way that data is assigned to levels in the game, and with that comes our star map. Now, this is the very first prototype implementation of this map. We're going to make a lot more progress on it for the next devlog, hopefully showing connected systems and a lot more data and UI related stuff. But basically, this is going to allow us to see where we are in the universe and jump between different points. A really nice side effect of getting this system up and running is that Rich was able to assign level music to each of our destinations in the game and build a music player that will fade between different songs. So as we exit this jump, the music player looks to see what music is associated with this level and begins to play it, which means we can finally start to enjoy some of Peter Chambers' excellent music that he's been making for this game. Now, behind the scenes, Mr. Meteor has been working on our dynamic camera system that will frame the combat in the scene when there's an enemy ship that is close enough. This helps us utilize our screen space a little bit more efficiently. There's a few little bugs here and there with it, like the ship going under the UI and stuff, so we got to dial it in, but he's been hard at work making this system highly adaptable, and we're just starting to work on some screen shake elements as well, so hopefully next devlog we'll have some cool updates on this system. So as you can see, there's a lot of features coming into the game right now. I'm especially excited about our new star map and that enabling us to build some persistent levels and actually map out the universe. Hopefully we'll have more to show on that for our next devlog. It really feels like we're building the world of C-beams right now, and it's so exciting. Now, if you guys are interested in checking out C-Beams when it releases, don't forget to check out our Steam store page, which will be linked down below. Follow us on Discord to see more regular updates and discuss game design with us. And if you want to see more of the devlogs or even some of our early ones where it all began, check out the devlog playlist here. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.